Hello and welcome, Underachievers. Today we're going to be looking at the part 3 of our Knool Camp series. We're going to be checking the left-hand side, which is the first room, the second corridor, and whatever comes next. Here's some cool normal heart. Let's get into it. We just started clearing the entrance pretty much with the Zerker, pulling the tree out because there's three of us at a time. So we just pull the three normals out and we're going to clear the Ranger. Then we're going to clear, I'm going to fast forward it there, but we're going to clear the right side three Knools as well. And we're going to be showing you how to handle that left side. So that first room that we saw in the last video and the two bears and the chieftain on that particular side. We're not going to be killing the two rangers on this particular video. Like we basically had time for 2-3 runs. Sometimes it's doable. The entire Knool camp is doable, but at some points it's not as easy to clear everything, and the last two rangers don't give you too much goal reward. But depending on how risky they are, and also you have the timers of the resets, and you obviously don't want to be dying that deep into the dungeon. We do have good news. So with regards to this series being extended rather than just our Knool camp, we're going to be making videos on the other Knool camps as well. Our good sir Spat already went with me and our main Nooler, Mr. Borgs, to go clear Knool Camp north of here. We're going to be doing those in the following weeks. I still have to edit that video. We have a couple of good footages. We pretty much cleared the entire thing. Also, in one of them, we did have one of the Knool Hunters. When I say Knool Ranger or Knool Hunter, is pretty much the same, but we did have one of those survive, and it did smack me in the butt. But today we're going to be doing this video to finish our Knool Camp series with regards to our Knool Camp. And hopefully you'll learn how to clear it yourself. You're going to be getting 3 to 7, 8 gold depending on how lucky you are with the quality of the items, and if you clear the chieftains and the bears and all the witches, then you should be boosting your earnings a little bit more. So and as you see here, our good sir is clearing the right side. This is the tree on the right side. The reason why we do this is because we pull the chieftain from here. So you could do it with, well, there's still three alive, but you'll be taking a bit of damage. So after you clear those three, you come to the left side and you bait the witch. So to bait the witch, you actually want her to get into melee, as close to melee as you can. So she will come to this side. So if you hug the right side wall, you can basically get the witch to come to you. She's doing a special attack, so we're just going for a smack or two. We're gonna repeat this a few times. What does happen here is when you go through the right side, you're also gonna aggro the Knool Bear and the Knool Mole. So we want to deal with the witch first, because if you do try to do any of the glitches that I showed at the end bit of last video, on the trees there on the right side to kind of have them or to even handle them normally, you really want to deal with the witch first. So every strategy that you have in this case should always pass by the witch. If you have an archer, it's kind of easy to do because you can shoot her through those little palisades holes there, and she'll be shooting at the thing. So basically, the bear sometimes will glitch against the witch when she's standing there. Um, we're gonna put a little bit of a video on actually later on how to do those bears with the blend towers and stuff. Just a small clip at the end, and we're also going to show you some spearman versions. So what you want to be doing is pulling back to here where we are now, and this means that the bear and the null mole will reset. But sometimes they get glitched against the witch. If you do come inside that area there, so like as soon as you pass this uh, the light on the right side, you're going to be aggroing the bear and the mole. So yeah, it's much easier to just handle the witch first, because the witch does seem to have a bigger aggro range than the other two. So if you're standing here, so you can see right now that the null is bumping against the witch. So I do have the aggro on all of them, and my mate is going to go in and kill the stuff, because they are pretty much aggro on to me right now. So I'm on the spot that the the null was glitching against the witch, but now the witch died. The mole resetted to my mate. So we can go in, clear the mole, and then we'll focus on the bear. Try to get the backside so I don't attack my mate, so avoid friendly damage. That mole did run far and wide. So now we have the bear and the null mole to handle, right? For these ones, you want to be doing blend type damage to the head or to the torso. That's also not too bad. You can see, you can have your systems open and see how much damage you're doing to different body parts, but you really want to be aiming for those two. Sometimes you'll have to attack from the back, so sometimes you'll have to get a different angle. When he does this attack, the one that he starts running, you have to pull out. Doesn't matter if you're stuck or glitched or not, but you really have to pull out. So as soon as you want to be safe, you just get back from this line that I'm on. You can draw an imaginary line from here to the right, and that's why my mate also keeps weaving in and out of that, because right now by the middle of the swing the mate would lose the aggro, and he comes out and he loses the aggro again, but because he's mid swing, he's going to re-aggro as soon as you come into the range. So it's always the safe way to do it. Safest way to do it if you're doing solo is pretty much like he did. We're going to show you his perspective as well, and we're also going to get him um, to get the chieftain and the bears stuck for us. But we're going to show you how to do it in both ways. One with the glitch um, and without it. The glitch just makes it safe depending on how you glitch it. So there is many different kinds of glitches depending on the status of the mob itself. So if the mob, for example, is swinging like he was there, um, you basically can only glitch him while swinging. But if he's walking or running, we're going to show you some examples of that later. So to get the bear, you basically come to the left side and you basically take a step on that third corridor, let's call it third left corridor, second left, but third corridor overall in the dungeon. Um, and basically pull it to the same spot. So the exact spot that we want to gain and lose aggro is the exact same. So it's pretty much that spot that we had the previous pair. This is how we're gonna get the chieftain and this pair as well. So like if you pull back from here, you're always safe. So he's never gonna aggro behind this point on the dungeon. So this is always a good spot to reset it in. Right now he's standing on the same spot, not because he's glitched or anything. Right now he's basically you left my mate is within the aggro distance of the fellow, the aggro um, range of these swings. So he's going to try to swing, and my mate pulls out at that point and then goes back in. We're going to demonstrate that in a second. I was trying to glitch it just to demonstrate for this video, but in this case it didn't work. In this, because we are doing the nulls in our one corridor, sometimes it's tricky for 2 people, 3 people to be swinging in and out. As we're going to show you in the future video of the other Knool camp that is already recorded, pretty much you can have 2, 3 people swing at the bear just because you are doing them in the open, but some Knool camps you'll have to figure out for your own Knool camps where like are the points that you actually lose aggro, gain aggro, where can you pull them from? So yeah, so to pull this pair, we basically go to that left hand side like we did, and you pull it out to the same spot. So if you are in trouble, you just take a step back from that line, you know. And if you need the heal, if you take one hit, like hits with the bear. So as you can see here, my mate went to pull the chieftain. I'm gonna try to get the aggro on him and pull him out to the spot. I'll show you in a second how we went to get it, but it's basically on the right side corridor. I'll demonstrate that in a bit. And you can start doing some damage to the chieftain here, but he's going to start running. We're going to try to pull him to the same spot. We already have the aggro, could have stayed in the back. He would come to us, but in this case, just to be sure he was coming, and you want to be sure to switch your blunt damage to your chopping damage or your slashing. Um, so that's why I got the broad axe right now. So what my mate is doing, he knows like which swings of the chieftain he can get one swing in or 2 swings in. So as you can see right now, he's pretty much soloing at this point. But I basically managed to get him onto the spot that he would be standing still. So that's what I was trying to say. So for example, if he's already swinging in swing status, let's say, he will keep on swinging. So what I do here is basically go for the head. I was trying to do some shenanigans with the jump head. In this point, we're also doing it with no armor, so you can run in and out. His attacks are not necessarily deadly. Some of them are, but most of them will definitely do like 125, 145 damage with that Chieftain sword. When he does the run, always pull back. Doesn't matter if he's glitched or not. He's going to come for you. Um, so you can glitch him on the right and on the left side. That case was our mate was doing it on the right. Now I'm going to do it on the left to demonstrate. So right now you cannot see much of it because he's behind the wall, but he's stuck running at me. I think at some point it might actually switch my mate. So you really have to have one rule of thumb, which is um, whenever you swing at a Knool, especially those bears and chieftains that hurt a lot, you have to keep in mind that the aggro tables might reset instantaneously. So every single swing. So my mate is right now giving him 3, 4 broad exits on the head and waiting for his stamina to come back up, and he's gonna keep doing it when his stamina comes back up. So basically, right now we managed to glitch him on a run. So because he was running back and he was turning to come to us. I managed to, because I had the aggro, I managed to go to this left tree branch, the one we draw the line in, and I stay exactly in that line. And basically, the mate is stuck at running at me. You don't need somebody there to glitch him on the way and somebody then poking. Like with 2 mates, you can do this perfectly. You can even do this solo, but it's a bit more aggressive. Like you'll be way too close to you and will swing at you, and that will be complicated. So the best way to do it solo is definitely to weave in and out and keep this line. Like so, if you're in trouble, you pull a little bit back, and then you're going to reset it a little bit and just need to go back in. But in this case, you can pretty much glitch them on the spot, and this will ensure that that the the mate is just you maximizing your damage because your mate is doing all the damage there. We're gonna do this reverse. I'm gonna show you this in a bit. So yeah, this we did like the first twitch, the first Knool Mole on the left side. Now with 2 bears and 1 chieftain. So this is like the basic clearing. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Sometimes the pulls don't go as well. But most of the times this is like easy to do, and it doesn't. If you have the correct damage and the correct weapons, you can pretty much do all of this and just ensure um, 3 to 4 gold or every 20 minutes. That's a good way to do it. So right now we're gonna go a little bit deeper into the dungeon, and uh, we're gonna be doing some more knowledge and show you how to complete some of the other nulls a little bit more ahead. So after this one, we do have like the left side corridor. That's the one we usually leave for last, and then we have the right side corridor. So the left side corridor there, that's where we pull the second bear. And that left side corridor, so you go in, and as soon as you go in, you realize a lot of stuff will spawn, but this is kind of a safe spot. Some of the stuff will chase you to that exit point that we keep using in the back, so sometimes you'll see us run out and whatnot to reset some stuff in case we don't want to aggro too much. um, but this side corridor will have 2 rangers and 2 witches depending on how they pull. So what my mate usually does is the right side, I usually do the left. With archer this is really easy because you can just plant the null hunters from here. I'm trying to get some of the null moles to get them to get them to come to me so they don't aggro to the right. Some of them will aggro to the right, some of them will aggro to the left. You hug your palisades, check what is spawning and what is aggroing onto you. Be sure that you have the correct damage types. So right now in this case, like I'll have 2 rangers shoot at me. I was trying to pull the witches and moles out before we even try to do those. But you can basically reset them. You can try to pull them into your melee range. Using these palisades, this is not even necessary to block you because right now we have no rangers, so you cannot trade with the null rangers. But what is this is doing is basically the stuff that is inside will come onto you. So I'm trying to bait them to come into melee range of me, in a sense, right? But when I'm trying to do that, the rangers already start pew-pewing me, and yep, I just pulled a little bit back. I couldn't get the null moles that I wanted, so I'm just going to reset it a bit while my mate is clearing the right side. But at least I guarantee that he's not aggroing 6, 7 mobs there. Um, and just to speed up the clear there. The left side is much easier with a ranger. So on this right side, he already killed one of the rangers, and he cleared, I believe, one of the witches. So uses this angle here between the line you can draw between me and him. If you go to the left side of that line, you basically lose aggro. If you go to the right, you'll aggro stuff. So in this case, now he still has the witch up. There we go. So he has 2 moles and the witch, so he already finished killing the ranger. You have to weave in and out a lot there because you aggro a lot of stuff. So right now the witch is pretty much give it the special attack. He blocks it with the palisades and he pulls back. Witches are definitely the worst in this in this Knool camp just because of how limited confined spaces you have. So you cannot gain a lot of space in direct line of sight from her and kind of dodge right and left to dodge her sticky bombs. Um, you have to be a bit greedy sometimes. In this case, for example, the corridor is a little bit wider than the one before, so they don't get stuck on the witch. So you cannot freely do the witch and then try to do the moles first. So you really want to be dodging the special attack. That's like the main one that you want to be dodging. The others you can take it a bit, especially if you're playing with the Berserker, as you should. Your plate will prevent a bit of the poisonous damage from the witch, but still, you're taking good amounts of it. In this case, I'm still doing it naked. After you do the Chieftain, it's a good time to put your gear on, just to save you some HP and some damage. You're gonna see here that because of my mate's positioning, he's gonna aggro a null that is actually gonna come all the way around. So you have to be careful in corridors. Sometimes you'll get ganked, but more stuff than you expect. So in this case, like he was doing the 2 nulls there, and a witch, and this null actually came all the way around. Sometimes aggros are strange, so you can he finished killing one of them, or at least reset the aggro, and we came back to deal with it. Sometimes the aggro in some of these corridors are kind of tricky because he was the one to pull it in, but then the aggro came to switch to me when he was coming around the, the fence there. Um, so he's gonna handle the last few nulls left there. This particular Zerkrov is the enough healing. I do definitely recommend at least 60 healing to be able to attenuate some damage. Another mole came, so I handled this one and let him take care of the witch. If you're doing this solo, sometimes you might aggro more stuff than you expect. But if you're standing on the spot that he is, that's kind of a safe spot for you to hold on to, at least from the witch attacks, and then you can kill this normal by yourself. Um, Don't forget to fight that attack. That attack that he does in the air, you can always usually get a couple of swings in. That's the attack that can actually kill you most of the times because that attack actually does a lot of hard HP rather than soft HP. Like most of his attacks are blunt. As you can see there, I took a blunt damage to the torso, but the one that he swings the axe quite high and attacks you, that's the one that does a bit of either slashing or chopping, I forgot, but that's the one that does have a lot of hard HP component. Don't forget, kill them before the burrow, just like in the other videos. Don't leave bags around to be sure to keep clearing those. Um, so we went to check back in our maid, and we have this left side here kind of pretty much cleared. So just to show you now, because we pulled those moles, we pulled the witches from this side, so it's a bit safer to do rather than the left. If you had an archer, it would be an option. So right now we're still missing a couple of to get control click stuff into your back. We're still missing a couple of the Knool Rangers at the back, but the timer was kind of close. So we decided, I think we killed it a bit more, and then we decided to leg it because of the respawn timers. We're kind of discussing like if we thought we were close to doing it, but those are the two ranges there in the left corridor there at the end. We're gonna reset it, just make sure we have all the bags in case we do that next time. I think we went for a sale after this one. Um, in the next video when we post the other Knool camp that we're going to be showcasing, um, we're going to post we're also collecting the data with regards to the quality of the items and the variation in prices. um, I did manage to pull one of the rangers from the back there. I think there is one still missing on the left corridor there. I didn't want to go check, I was a bit low HP without healing, so I actually basically what we did is basically after doing the Knool camp, if you're a little bit low, what you can do is like wait 10 minutes and go for a suicide. So you want to be sure that you don't have more weapons, because when you die now you do lose your weapons. So I wanted kind of to stay safe because I couldn't pull the ranger safely. He's trying to get him, but we didn't have much time left. uh, he did go melee on him, maybe. He's trying to get a bit of the aggro, get inside the melee range, but we didn't have much time to play around with it. So we just cleaned it. But basically in the future video we're going to be doing we're going to put the prices, so like what kind of ranges the price fluctuations are, and potentially in the future study the drop rates of everything, so like knowing if you kill witch there's a high probability you're going to get this or that. One of the things you can drop is basically the branches, like those you don't need to carry, but I recommend getting the fibers. Some of the ropes are regional, they will help you make some regional stuff. The same thing with the linen cloths. um, the Knool Bear axes are pretty much throwaways. We just use them back in Knool Camp, but the Chieftain swords can be really good, so there is always a chance you get a sword from 1 to 100. Those can sell for quite a bit of gold. Um, but yeah, it's a matter of investment. And now when you die, you really want to be clearing your Knools efficiently, so you don't waste gear and waste weapons. If you do suicide, you want to put everything in a warehouse, trade post, card, whatever you have at your disposition, so there's no chance that you lose gear when you commit suicide. Um, you cannot do it back in the day. So back in the day, you basically killed yourself. You went back to your body, grab your stuff. But because of the new loss of items situation upon death, you do want to be sure that you're not losing stuff silly. So to basically kill yourself, you're gonna grab all of your gear and stuff and put it into your warehouse, like we said. So make sure to equip everything, so there's no chance you'll lose everything. I already put my broadaxe and chieftain sword and stuff. Um, Grab it all, shove it in warehouse, and Glomlindhe. Basically, it's the same thing as the teleportation we use, the one that you have for days. If you're bound to a house, you respawn in your house, and basically we have to wait 10 minutes. If you can spawn in a keep, if you die in HGH, you do take only 5 minutes. Um, in this case, I have nothing on me, so what I'm just gonna do is kill myself. Go to general actions, in minor skill, general actions, and then look for Glomlindhe. I just want to make sure I was bound actually, because I don't think I was bound before the Knool camp. I was bound in our main base. But yeah, then you can Gloomlinde yourself, and basically you'll need a little bit of XP. So because you're gonna get rest sick, you don't have max HP. You also have like lower strength, lower stamina and stuff. But this way I basically get a bigger heal than if I was gonna wait for time itself. Then grab your gear back, and in 10 minutes um, you should be ready to do it again. So doing the left side Knool Bear pull again, and this time we're going to do it without using either the glitch spot or the little area there. Um, so we came here to the left spot that we were talking about before, and this time we're going to get um, we're gonna go here, let it spawn, and then when you see that the bear spawns, you take a step forward, like my mate did there. As soon as it does, you can do it here. So basically, like you can, don't forget, always run when he does that attack. It's always better to get the distance than rather than trying to bait it. The left-hand uppercut that he does, you can do it perfectly fine here. Right now, we're not going to aggro anything inside. Maybe a mole will come potentially, but it's not customary. You can do it here in the open rather than using that spot to use in the back. The spot in the back is just good in case you really need to back out. You know you're going to be completely safe. And you know that also the running attack stops there always in that line. And here you can do it easily. You can even bring 2 more people, but don't forget the aggro does count, so be sure to do it properly. So we switch from blunt damage. In this case, I would just throw some stones, trying to switch the aggro. Um, but don't forget to switch your weapons depending on what's coming next. So right now we're going to see how to pull the boss, just getting a bit of the loot from the Knools. Don't forget, control left click to get stuff fast into your bag. So we're going to be pulling the Chieftain right now. To do that, we already cleared the left side beforehand, and we're going to go, yeah, don't forget, drop the branches if you need to, not to go overweight with the loot. Um, Basically, you go to this left-hand side, and you're going to hug the wall on the left there, on the right, and then go in and into the left. So right now, we're not going to do these switches and bear we did last time. My mate is just going to go there, go to the close to the witches there, hug the left side wall. The chieftain spawns and aggro's onto you, and because we killed the bear, is you see him there. He was passing there on the screen a little bit, but you need to hug this right side of the wall, and the bear will always come to you. So you need to run in afterwards. So after you go there close to the witch on the right side, you need to come here to the left, hug the wall on the way, and then the chieftain comes out. You can do the chieftain in the same way you could do the bear, so you could do it there in the open, but I'm just going to demonstrate the chieftain again. So right now the chieftain um, is actually on walking move, but he's my mate has the aggro, so even throwing a couple of stones can actually reset the aggro from the gentleman. He's going to do the Knool Bear and Knool Chieftain run to you and with uppercut, so get away from those definitely. Don't forget, switch to your broad axe. It's the best weapon against the chieftain. So right now I'm trying to get the little glitch spot, but if you cannot do it without the glitch, my mate is going to keep killing it. I just don't want to go in not to mess with them. In the wider camps is not going to appear. This is the same thing as a bear. Careful because the hitbox on this game is like whatever his sword actually goes through, it goes through. So it's a gigantic goddamn hitbox for the chieftain sword. So do be careful with that. There is some attacks that you will learn that you can actually get the 2 hits. One of the reasons, even if you're not glitching to do it here, is just to get out of this run because the run always ends there in the point that lose aggro. If both of you are outside and the mate is not mid-swing, the aggro sometimes does reset if you are coming into this area first. Um, right now the chieftain is this is not glitched, but the chieftain is going to trying to attack my mate, but my mate is always pulling out of that area limit there and going in as soon as he can for the swings. So this is a good way to just do it. You know he's going to finish there, go in for 2 swings, pull back a little bit out, and back again. So you weave in and out, and usually you want to leave one lane for one mate, the other one for the other mate. In this case, I was trying to indeed stop him there with a glitch, but my mate had the full aggro, so I was gonna try to go melee, but I got stuck a little bit there on the branch, and I definitely got smacked. That's gonna happen, either you want it or not sometimes. Just make sure you learn from the experience. So in that case, we do usually have specific lanes, like usually find the right one to our mate and the left one for me. Sometimes a little bit wide because he does swing with the right hand, so it's our left side sometimes a little bit more open. Even though we're fast, we did get a little bit stuck by a tree there, so always be aware of your surroundings. In this case, we're going to be running back. You really want to run back, even if you're sick, rest sick, and you want to go get your gear. In this case, I did take a little bit of a detour to check some bags. My good mate does like to leave some stuff in the bags, and we're not necessarily in the same guild currently. Um, so yeah, I went to pick up some bags, but your priority should definitely be go to your gear and make sure that you have first that you heal your mate in case he did take some damage, and then you take at least your weapons and your armor, whatever survived from that, just to be able to clear up to the point you were. So don't worry about the Knool gear. As you're gonna see here, I actually start taking the Knool gear, and then I realized that stuff might be respawning soon, or in quite a little bit. So I was just trying to check my surroundings. My mate kept clearing a bit, doing the chieftain still in the inside, so I could actually get my gear in the back without haggling him. So if I don't attack or I'm not even close to him, in this case it shouldn't come to me, but sometimes this game is peculiar. So always prioritize, take the stuff that you need to clear it back in. So your weapons, your rocks, if you're using your bows and stuff, and prioritize only the null drops later on. Um, Especially if there is a respawn happening right now, I can always be sure to run out, can clear back in, and then get the null stuff. As I'm speaking, the nulls actually respawn in front of me. So right now we have the three null moles and the ranger that is going to try to come at us. So if I'm here in this corner, this is a safe spot. So I know my mate is clearing the chieftain ahead, uh, but he comes and he pops over here, so he's going to get the aggro. He's armored and whatnot. The null hunter ranger does decide to come at me, but that's okay. Just make sure you're always in fighting stance. You never run in fighting stance when you're running out of there, even if you're not fighting, because it decreases the amount of damage you take. So the ranger is still on me, and I do end up dying here. That was definitely my fault. I shouldn't have needed to. Use the tree as a try to block his line of sight. So as soon as I'm clear for that, I equip my gear and my stuff. Right now I'm still I don't have enough strength to actually use the normal Zerk weapons. I'll try to use some stones, but get some protection from the nulls. In this case, you don't pretty much need anything else just to clear the entrance, and then I'll get the rest of the null gear whenever we make it back. Another solution that you have in case you actually don't want to. So I didn't have a heal, but I took some damage from the ranger. So I'm gonna do here instead of dropping in the warehouse, I'm gonna drop it in the bag, but all my stuff. But do be sure to not have it in your upon death equipped. You could live in your own tombstone, but this makes it fast because you can control click stuff from your bag, but you cannot control stuff click stuff from your tombstone. You need to click drag. So we did go for a quick death to heal since my mate is not a healer with this particular character. And I knew my mate was safe doing the three millies there, so I pretty much took the chance to get a bit of a heal. Right now, I managed to get my gear back, and we got a new mate that is started to do the right side, so I need to explain how to do it. The right side is really good for mates starting out. I already mentioned in the previous video. If you want to check, go check our part 2 on how to clear it. Um, my mate already started on the left-hand side. The more experienced Knooler already started doing the Chieftain. Here, for the purpose of this video, we demonstrated how to glitch and different status of glitches. So there is a status that when you step on that line that we're going to stay in a bit, you're going to be able to auto attack glitch him. That's a good way, but you're still going to get hit if you get inside that hitbox. That hitbox is gigantic for the Chieftain sword, so be careful with it. While I'm getting my gear, my mate is now getting the Chieftain to a good spot. So if you ever get in trouble, just pull back from that line. The boss will not chase you outside of the Knool Camp, in our case, but some Knool Camps they do chase you, so be careful. Check it out. I threw a couple of stones just to be sure that the aggro was kind of okay. Again, every single attack can make him switch. It is not based on like who did more damage to him or anything like that. So you can basically start going in, and with in and out through his attacks, you'll learn which ones you can actually get two procs of your weapon instead of one. In this one, when he actually gets bent over, you can actually get two attacks in. I only get one. Most of the times I've been sometimes living on the edge there. The other Nooler mate definitely is a bit better than me with his weaves in and out. Um, Sometimes you can survive a hit from the chieftain, and obviously based on your combat survivability, a lot of times you'll survive with 1 HP, which you're gonna see in a second. I was exchanging some messages with the mate and to be sure that the aggro would stick on him, and if the aggro would switch for him to switch positions with me. My weapon was definitely getting stuck on the animation of the override attack if I didn't actually click it through, which is kind of peculiar and didn't allow my stamina to regenerate. Here I gets chunked by everything, and my combat survivor kicks in. My mate saw that, so he basically went in himself. But at this point, the aggro was still on him. So what we're trying to do, let him do the attack, the running attack. Many times that he does try to do the running attack, if it's properly glitched, he will never do that. But many times when it is this type of animation, my mate is going in and out, so he actually does have the full aggro. The boss is not glitched. He will stay in the same place just because he comes in, so he's already inside the zone again by the time the chieftain is supposed to start his melee attack. So this is a really good way to control the chieftain. But this is definitely not glitched. If I do get the aggro here, I'm able to put him in position again. I'm just trying to get some stones on him to change the aggro table, not necessarily because of the damage it does. The broadaxe is just too good versus him. So let him the space to run, weave out of the attacks, and be sure that I'm not impeding his path. Um, In this case, we are. This is how you must do the chieftain here, either here or in the next room. But then you do have a little bit more space to play with. But if you get trapped inside with the chieftain or something happens, it's much harder to get out. We do like to do it in this corridor just because of how easy it is to lose aggro and the lack of chasing. If you need to reset a bit or get out stemmed or anything like that, um, it's a good spot for that. But as soon as you're good with doing null camps, you really want to be killing the chief consistently. It's the one that gives the chieftain swords, they're worth quite a bit. It gives us Taskus, regular alloys, and a couple more stuff. Diamonds and some gems to be sure to learn the chieftain and to start doing it regularly on your null runs. For the last run of the day, we're just going to demonstrate sometimes the fog. There's just a little part of the fog. When I came in the next round, it was not foggy on the outside, but as soon as I went in, it was actually foggy on the inside. So you want to completely get out of the FIF again and go back in. But sometimes there is a thick fog. There's a little bit of a change in the light, in the dimness of the light of the day, and you can see right now. You can actually clear it much better. So sometimes it does seem foggy from the outside, but inside it's not. So when you end up coming to the null camp itself, you can have the clear skies, as I showed in the first null video. If you want to learn how to clear the first room, do check it out. So in this last clear, I just wanted to demonstrate the other side. So actually, the circuit that I'm used to doing this side with usually does hug the right side, and I do the left side. Um, the right side is a little bit more, gives you a little bit more space because there is a bit more, more space without the tree to bump against you. So in this case, I'm actually going to be teaching him and all the other achievers out there watching how to actually do them both and with this angle. So right now I'm actually my attack is stuck with the vertical overhead. And what you want to do is take your weapon out and put it back again, or actually swing it, but sometimes you don't have enough stamina to do it, so you really want to uh, press that R to unlock your sledgehammer. You can also do it to the mold. The mold has a little bit more damage, but you do have to have more strength, as we mentioned in the previous video against the bears. Um, it depends on which weapons you want to be using and if you want to be practicing for other war purposes or not. In this case, we do have the witch still inside. We did kill the first Knools, but because we are two people, I kind of tried to split them up. So I tried to have my mate aggro the bear or the witch, and I aggro the other one. In this case, I do have the chieftain sword. I was thinking that I would get the witch and he would get the bear, but that proved wrong. So I basically just tried to play around with the bear a little bit. You can come until this edge and you're not aggroing anything from behind, which is kind of safe. Now I'm going to go in for the witch and she did get a whack melee at me. Um, so we're gonna try to split them in two. That which is my kryptonite in this null camp, as I've explained before in some videos. But yeah, by splitting them up, if you have two people or three people, you can definitely do them much easily. The which is the same principle as we said before with the ranger, which is that you can weave in and out of our melee attacks, but it's a little bit harder to do because the ranger's melee attack is a bit bigger. Right now, the witch is kind of hanging out in the back, not shooting anybody. And she's shooting through the walls, but it's getting stuck there. So you can. But as soon as my mate moved in there, you realize that the witch did actually go into better line of sight for my mate. So trying to kill her here. I'm not sure if I got the aggro, so I'm gonna hide behind the tree. But my mate still had the aggro, so I could freely go at the witch. Um, he's just holding there in that angle. The witch might switch at any point, so I have to be ready to just turn back and run if she whacks at me. But right now, because the aggro is well held by my mate, the chieftain sword did its trick. Back to putting my sledgehammer or your maul for that blunt damage, and start whacking at the Knool boss, the Knool Bear. Sorry. In this case, my mate is holding his normal angle on the right. We're gonna swing from back, carefully with those back swings from the bear and the chieftain. Those sometimes whack at you. I went way too much forward in that particular case, but yep, you could be doing a lot of more damage if you had both of your eating, but if you're starting out and and you don't have all the strength or all the skills that you need or anything like that, and you need to do it in a safer way, this is definitely a good way uh, to glitch the chieftain and the bear and just ensure that you at least have some gold coming in. But obviously, having more people hitting at the same time would make it faster, although it isn't a little bit more dangerous. Try to avoid friendly damage at whatever cost, and yeah, if you have um, that attack bug, don't forget to press R and cancel R. Sometimes shield is bugging as well, but shields are not too common in Knool camps. But whenever you get bugged with anything, just take the weapon off, put it back on with either the number of the hotkey or with R if that is not working. Stay safe, guys. So we're going to be pulling the last chieftain now. So we did the 2 bears on the left side. Some moles might come, no moles, but you can handle those easily, especially with 2 people. But basically we want to go here after the tree or behind or before the tree, and the chieftain already respawned and is coming because the bear is clear again. He's going to make all the path from the other side that we already seen in the beginning of the video. Make sure to hug the wall. The chieftain is already passed, so we just hug the wall, run as fast as you can to this point, and then aggro him over to our spot. Um, right now we're going to try to glitch him the I mean it's easiest glitch, but it's the hardest one to do, which is basically you wanna glitch the boss while he's actually walking. This is not always possible when depending on the type of aggro or not. But my mate is also doing it for the first time, so I was trying to tell him exactly where to stand on the left hand side. In this case, I'm gonna go in and smack the chieftain as soon as we're able to lock it in. I actually forgot to switch my weapon. Don't forget to use the appropriate weapons for the appropriate knolls. On the right side there, it's impossible to get the chieftain to do the running or walking glitch. So you do have to hug the left side there to actually do it. We have always done it on the left, but it's possible to do it with the attack glitch. So he keeps attacking, and you can glitch in and out. But in this particular case, we cannot get him close enough with walking or running because as soon as he's close enough to that spot, he's going to swing. So it's impossible to do it there. So what you want to be doing it is like letting the mob start walking or running, and then you go a little bit to your left here. So you realize that my mate was too much on the right. But if he does come to this tree branch here, which is exactly where you want to be standing, um, when he's in the walking move, there is a higher chance you'll get glitched while walking rather than swinging at you. So I was trying to demonstrate there. He already started walking, but I was close enough to almost do it. So let's try it again. There we go. You see, he stopped there, and he came back walking again. So we resetted the status as the chieftain is on, right? So I kind of tried to stay away, still in the aggro distance, so just to keep the boss without having to go back to the right corridor. And again, this is the branch you want to stay at. It's right before the branch goes in, so you have the peak of the branch that's popping out. You really want to stay there. Right now I still have the aggro. You can bait a couple of attacks and weave in and out like we're doing before. Um, but the chieftain is has a mind of his own sometimes, and you really want to to be sure you're not taking damage or losing armors or losing weapons. That will make the run quite costly. So you see there, that's the running glitch that we're talking about. So right now, if my mate goes behind him, he can smack, 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 but usually goes for the front just because of the headshots. It's almost impossible to land him from the back. Um, Unless you're 2 feet tall. 2 feet? Wait, 2 meters. I always get confused with the feet and meters. But you see there, he switched aggro to him. So my mate now got the aggro. So one of his swings actually um, got his attack baited. But my mate still has the aggro. He has to step a little bit forward. He's not attacking me. The Knool is actually attacking him. You can see by the direction Knool is actually swinging at. So his center or the center line from the angle he's swinging is at him. He's right now trying to figure that spot we're telling him about on the tree branch. Came back just to reposition there. So there goes the run and left uppercut. Sorry. And yep, my mate is going to get it in a second. So I was telling him to actually hug the left side. Um, so we were able to demonstrate just for the video. In this case, he's swinging. So we tried to reset the status. I was trying to get the aggro again. Almost got swung there. Um, this is definitely doable with just driven out on the melee. Just much more risky, and you cannot be watching a documentary on the side. If you do learn how to glitch, it will save you probably some time just to do it in a good way. It depends how your mates prefer to do it. You can also have like one person glitching, one or doing it melee, and then 1-2 archers shooting at him with the blunt arrows or piercing arrows. Sorry, blunts would be for the bear, not the chieftain. So right now he managed to get it on the running status or walking status, and we're back on business. In business, sorry. In this case, we want to aim for as many headshots as we can. Use our stamina for the least movement possible or needed, and just go straight for the head, land those overheads, and in this way, indeed, you can go back to watching your Netflix video and whatnot. just be sure that at any point you have to be able to turn back and run as fast as you can, or just dodge a couple of swings. Um, because you might switch aggro. When you're doing this with the tech glitch, you do have a higher chance that it will switch aggro to you. If it's on walking glitch, it's even better than the running one because it seems more stable, more static to the person that he is actually aggro to. But there is no guarantees. Again, um, you really want to learn how to do your chieftain. Maybe you have a different process. If you do, let us know. Like for example, right now I could have two archers behind me, or a person with a, or behind the chieftain even, or a person with one pike that wanted to be 100% safe and run fast and stuff. You could put it on the right side here. But yeah, you just want to be sure that you're killing the mate and getting all the profit you can from your camps. Um, right now we're going to just be waiting on the stamina, but I want to and keep swinging with the overheads. I want you to remind you that we're going to be doing all the other Knool camps, so you can check the different types of Knool camps. We already have been talking with the guilds, possessing some of them. Um, don't forget to always loot your bags. So if you have too many bags, you don't even know what you're supposed to loot. So I just make sure they're all empty again. The chieftain loot is probably one of the best. So right now we're trying to look if we have another 99 or 100 quality chieftain sword. There's a couple of okay stuff. Depending on the quality, you'll suffer more, like we've mentioned before. Um, there's some flex in here. There is the chieftain items that are unique to the chieftain. Those also sell for a bit more. Usually there is regional ropes and stuff like that. We can see some regular alloys there as well. So save those. The chieftain sword was actually bad. It was not that good in this case. The drop rates might have changed from back in the days, but they're looking good. We're just going to go into two small parts on how to clear part of the Knool camp with the spearman and then the archer. So for the spearman, you can do pretty much the right side in the same way. If you have two spearmen, um, that's actually an okayish way to do it. Usually use the boar spears to clear the Knools that are easy, but if you have some of them glitched a little bit further away, you do want to be using that medium and long pike. This is a matter of taste. Obviously, it's slower than the Berserker build, just because of the damage types and the damage itself. But it's a good way to remediate if you don't have the Berserker available to you or anything like that. At this point, there's also something we should mention, which is well, Knool respect, I guess, Knool camp respect. So usually we do try to keep a good relationship with the people that also use the Knool camp. If we're already using it, we let it we let the other people um, wait a bit, and then when we're done, they usually come in to try to respect the mates that own the Knool camp. Obviously, sometimes there are people trying to gank you and whatnot, so be sure that you're healed in case you're going to get attacked. Um, but we knew some of these people we have seen before. They're respectful. They realized we're clearing the right side. They thought we were doing the full clear, but we actually wanted to go to the left. But we'll get there in a second. So we already cleared the first three Knools on the right side. We let them take the left for the time being. And we're going to do the right hand side now. With the pikes, you can actually do it from the outside. So one of us stays inside and manages the aggro with the mate outside. So we let them reset for a bit. My mate is already getting the aggro on the inside. You just have to step above that, in front of that step that you use the stones or the bows, which we're going to see in a little bit with the bow. We had done it with the stones before with the berserker, I believe, but with the long pikes through the walls is actually possible. With Zerk weapons is not so easy. So as you can see here, you got the aggro from the inside, and the Knool Bear is actually running against the wall. So you can basically just pre-hit. Obviously, it's not the same damage as doing it with blunt damage. Um, but it's not too bad either. So you can see it resets, goes a bit back, but my mate is going to pull out of the corridor right now, and he's going to come back to us. The witch is already throwing stuff at him and at me, but quite safe in this case. As soon as the bear resets back to me, right now he's running against the corner, so you have to figure out your edges. Where can you stand? Where can you aggro? Where can you pull him against, or against the palisades, or against a target that is reliable in a sense. In this case, as soon as he goes back to his spot in the corridor, and the bear comes back to me, I can go through the wall, and I'm completely safe. Like none of the bear swings is going to go through me, even when he swings like that. Nope. Just pull a little bit back sometimes because I'm always scared, but none of them actually eat through the wall there. Um, we're gonna go get the spear down. It takes a little bit longer with the long pike, but it's doable. Just have enough strength and 90 spearmen to use it, and it should be alright. Um, the witches later are easier to kill if this Knool Bear is cleared, because the two witches there are kind of tricky with the bear alive. But if the bear is not around anymore, then it's easy to clear with very little mechanics. We're going to demonstrate in a second after the bear goes down. Um, Your Knool camps are different. Some Knool camps will have different spots in palaces that you can use. These little gaps through the walls will allow you to use some longer weapons to actually break through. Do check them in yours. Sometimes you can do this to chieftains. We're gonna see the in some cases you can do stuff also with archery from above. This Knool camp is quite flat, but some Knool camps have little hills and stuff that you can use for advantage. So if you can kill the Knool Bear with an archer from the outside being safe, that would be quite alright. We can see here the mates on the left side were having a little bit of trouble. We do throw in the heal just out of respect, but they're having some troubles clearing the left side. That one is not easy, but you know how to do it because you already watched the first part of this video. Um, in this case, we're gonna go for the witches, so we're gonna go within within their closer range. Our mate already killed one of the witches through the palisades there, so he stand behind the palisades and went at her. But this second witch doesn't go close to the palisades enough to do it with a pike. So what we want to be doing is make sure we avoid a special attack. If I have the aggro, I can just hide behind the little tree there. My mate is using actually blunt damage, which he shouldn't. Um, which is okay versus the witches, but it's not as good as it can be. So right now you can see the witch is still aggro on him. Whenever she attacks, he goes behind the tree. Um, he can go in for a swing whenever you get in, but he's actually getting swings from the side there, so the witch is actually stun locked there, and we kill her easily without taking any damage. Long pikes have their favor. In this case, for this right side clear, is quite easy to use them. You have a lot of spots that you can stop them at, even without glitching, without any shenanigans like that. These switches are not so easy to glitch as it seems. The bear is a little bit more, but you take care of the bear before you do the witches, um, just to be sure that you're not losing lives here, because it's a tricky corridor in the beginning if you're not playing with ranger weapons or stones or something like that to clear the bear. It can become tricky. So this is just another option for you to kind of do the clear. On the left hand side, as soon as we went to realize that most of the mates had died and came back to get some of the stuff, we didn't know how much time we had left, but we're trying to kill the bear with the pike there. The bear and the normal kind of get attacked to each other, so they will keep running into each other for a while. Um, they just body block. One of the aggro is on me, the other is on the other mate. But I'm standing on a spot that will lose aggro from one of them. So right now you can pretty much do the bear and the chieftains like this if you're able to lock them there. But let's get into the archery part, because at that point we had to run out because the respawn happened. So with regards to archery, you can stand back here and actually shoot the Knool Ranger, but we're gonna show you up close in case you get the aggro or one of the mates you just want to do it faster. So take care of the moles first, pretty much the same opening as with this berserker or a spearman. Um, as soon as you're able to pull them out, just be sure you can use them with the bow, but just to save arrows, I pretty much use uh, the bastard sword, because this is a farmer tailor cook that I have in base, and also procurator and tamer and stuff. So at the same time as I'm an animal or horse trainer, so you have to blend your PvE and your PvP skills in a sense. So in this case, because I'm a cavalier, I could use the bastard sword, so that's my option instead of like wasting arrows per se. Although the Knool Camp does give you a fair amount of arrows, but usually they are not too good quality. So for the ranger, you can leave him on the same spot, or you can use the same trick we used with the spearman, or uh, with the stones. So basically try to get him to this campfire. As soon as you get the right angle, it shouldn't be a problem. Right now I'm just trying to wait. I should have come a bit more to the right so he comes to me. Then go back to the left to kind of block them there. And don't forget, whenever you get the line of sight, he'll try to come for you and try to shoot from you at you. So you have to fix the correct angle to do so. So as you can see here, I'm going to try to wait my weight more. I'm still not there yet. This angle I cannot shoot him, so I'm going to try to move a little bit more. Don't forget to have your um first third person look in a good key. I usually have the G for that, so I keep the G um, on my index finger. So if I need to switch fast between the two, in case we're getting ganked or even for wars and stuff, it's really useful. Right now I'm already hitting them. I'm just gonna keep shooting the mate until it falls down. Don't forget blunt arrows, so be sure that you have, for example, Alt 2 or Alt 3 with blunt and slashing, so you can easily switch your arrows without having to go to your inventory. To be careful sometimes, because the stacks of arrows that you do have there sometimes are variant, so make sure that you have only 31 stacks of 31 arrows in your backpack. So when you do it like this, you're not stacking like 7 or whatever arrows, but because you're switching, sometimes there will be smaller stacks of arrows available um, for you with the shortcut. So be careful with that. Um, As soon as this bear is taken care of, I'm just going to quickly demonstrate that the right side works pretty much in the same way. So the right side is you want to keep the normals at a certain distance and basically keep shooting them until everything is dead. I was showing the Knool Camp to a new mate, and the only thing I had around was my archer. That's why I kind of brought him in. I haven't done this with archer in a long time, but the principles are pretty much the same. The glitch spots or the aggro spots are pretty much the same, so you have to just get used to doing so. Um, the longbow is a bit better for this for the Knool Camp, but I don't have the ranger points because of the cavalry, and I do not have the strength because I have a lot of willpower for farming and stuff. So I did have to make some concessions in that sense on my PV skills. Whenever you're in the spot, the glitch spots, you can pretty much use the first person because sometimes it's tricky with the archer with the third person view to get your shots in. So as soon as you finish doing this right hand side, um, you can pretty much do the bear there on the corridor with the blunt arrows. So be sure to switch. Don't waste your slashing. Um, some of these mates, if they're not glitched out, they're going to try to burrow, which is going to get the aggro from the others. Be careful there. Um, when you're going in for the last swing, you can get knocked down and whatnot. But the aggro on this mate was on the new mate, so again, aggro tables in this game are always strange, depending who came in first, who got the last hit. Like, there is a lot of variables there. With a Knool Bear, you want to be doing at the same spot as stones. It's not as fast as the machine gun stones technique we taught you on the previous video, but at the same time, it's a lot more damage. So instead of the 8 blunt damage, you're going to be doing 22, 24, depending when you hit and whatnot. Also depends on the quality of the arrows. If you have a long bow, it makes it much easier. I've also tried with all the types of crossbows, but definitely the bows are the way to go. The composite here is okay for the bears. Some people prefer the short just because of the rate of the bow draw. But the long bow is definitely the way to go if I had enough agility and strength. Well, what something that we've been realizing in the last few clears, this is a more recent video than the previous ones, is that the respawn times have sometimes been a bit messed up with the server since the server reset a couple of hours or a day ago from the recording of this video. So like sometimes we had the respawns that were within 10-15 minutes, which is kind of strange because they should usually be at 22 and a half to 25 minutes. But for some reason, some of the Knool camps have been respawning much faster. So do be careful with your Knool camps. Be sure that you are always in safe spots. So in this case, we're gonna be interrupted by Knool spotting right in the middle of the Knool Bear clearing. After you finish the Knool Bear, don't forget to switch for your slashing arrows for the witches. We ended up clearing it later, but I didn't have the video turned on, and I wanted to be giving some instructions to the new mate that is clearing the Knool camps. So yeah, take your time, learn it, and make your money. As you see here, the respawn just happened, so be sure to be on your fighting stance. Never be outside your fighting stance. So the new mate died a couple of times because of that. So right now he's running, and I was reminding him to go in fighting stance. If you don't want to draw your sword because it makes you slower, okay, the two. I just got a hit on the ranger just to make sure that the aggro is on me and not on the other mate, on our naked mate. Hug the left side, and you shall be safe. For the last part of this video, we're just going to show you how to set up a Knool base. We're not mentioned it before, but basically you need a couple of log warehouses. Right now ours are pretty much empty because we've been making a bunch of arrows for some of the new mates doing it. And also we're using a lot of the softwood to make repair kits. So as a basic setup, you basically need to have a couple of trees. We just got them. That's why the first log warehouse is full. We actually have to send one of our carpenters here to replant some of them as soon as the oxygen can starts. We used to have like a sword in that fief over there that we don't own anymore, and then a trade post in this flat area, but we had to remove it. Oh, don't forget, you have no bases means that you can also have extra resources. In the mountain behind us, we have rock salt, which we don't have in the main base back there. So to be sure to use those resources in a wise manner. Um, we have a little forging setup there just to make repair kits and to make some lumps for the arrows. That's usually okay. Here we have like 200, 300 tree spot for tree farming. As soon as the oaks pop, we're gonna be planning to replant those, and then pines for the softwood, hardwood with the oaks, obviously. We have a couple of primitive houses. We used to have a 10-man house, but since we took it back, we have not spent much time here besides actually killing gnolls. The only thing else you need besides a couple of warehouses and some basic foraging area is a trade post. Trade post you obviously going to sell to the crown. If you have doubts how to do that, do post in the comments. I'll make a video now to use the trade post. Sometimes a little bit buggy, sometimes a little bit tricky, but basically that's all you need for your Knool base, and you should be set up for success. Don't forget to follow us and subscribe, and please drop a like. See you next time.